All right, so today is November 15th, 2021. As you can see, we are down 1800 bucks today. Traded very, very poorly. And what's so weird is it's always funny because the contracts we bought them at 586. They closed, actually, and then we even kept on buying more, and then they closed at 560 something. So anyway, yeah, so we traded really poorly, really poorly. So everything we've worked for over the last 2 weeks or so, we've given back everything, and we're back to where we started. And this can happen with trading. This can happen a lot of times with trading. And there aren't any excuses other than a few things that have to do with emotions, bad control of emotions, and just not really, yeah, just not doing things properly. If I go through, I'll tell you what we did, and then it wasn't a question of, there was bad analysis, but also there was also very poor execution, and in everything. And it's weird, even the ones that we took on CrowdStrike, it was a good trade, bad execution, and therefore I exited prematurely, because I just and took a big loss on it. So I'm going to talk through everything. A bit disappointed, not a bit. I'm quite disappointed with myself today, and this was a lot of it had to do with one or two things. Two things that I knew were an issue at the beginning, but I ignored them because I thought I was Superman. That sense of euphoria hit me. So just a bit of background. I think I only had about an hour or two sleep last night. My daughter kept us up. My partner is ill, so I'm pretty much taking care of her, which is fine. I mean, it's my duty, but I took for granted and underestimated the effect of what that would do to me trading today. And as a result, I made some very poor decisions. And yeah, I made some very, very, very poor decisions. Um, for instance, I bought a call and then exited, and then bought again and then exited, and then bought again. It doesn't make any sense. Like, you're buying indecision. And that is when you're doing that, you're not trading a plan, you're just trading your emotions and you're gambling. And I was doing that, but I felt so exhausted to even catch myself, that and when you make a bad decision and okay, you've made a bad decision, you need to stop, relax, and chill. I didn't do that. I was actually quite relaxed, but I wasn't in the right frame of mind. It's like being hungry and trying to study or do something, and you're just not doing the right thing. And you just can't be bothered, and you're lazy, but you're not catching yourself doing it, but you sense that that's what's going on. The same thing with CrowdStrike. I bought a put. The setup was there for a put, and then I just exited. I just did not feel right about what I was doing, and as a result, I took a loss on that. All right, so let's talk in detail what I was doing at each time, right? So I think the most painful thing here is that I know I can't. I mean, the money's gone, but I know for me to get back to where I was, I have to do it properly, and I can't do it with such heavy risk. My risk should never. I should never ever lose more than $100 on a trade, and the fact that I did not put a hard stop, didn't plan the trade properly, and did not execute properly with the right stop is the problem today. That was the problem. It had nothing to do with analysis, nothing to do. I mean, there is some analytical things in there which we could always talk about, But even though there are certain rules and guidelines you're supposed to keep to, and I threw all those out the window. All right, so first trade. Okay, first of all, this was the premise, right? As you can see, my first trade was on Tesla, and I remember saying to myself, don't trade Tesla, trade Nvidia. You know Nvidia well, but I was tired. I didn't really care so much. I just wanted to trade Tesla, and I just looked at it this way, and I saw we were obviously in a bear trend. And let's look at this one too. We're obviously in a bear trend. 1 pullback, 2 pullback, possibly 3. And as you can see, we had 3 legs down. So this is the third leg down. Or you could go 1, 2, and 3. So I miscounted that. No, I didn't miscount. So I thought we were going up. I actually thought this was the support area, and we were going up. I thought we had counted 1, 2, and 3, double bottom up. So what I did was I looked at pre-market, and I saw we're going up. I plotted this wedge. Oops, not the wrong. I plotted a wedge top from here to here, expecting price to test the highs up here. That was my initial idea. Like, okay, 1 pullback, 2, maybe we're gonna go up, and then there was a moving average. And at the time, we didn't have the moving average here, the 2060. I remember saying to a friend, I said, we're forming a triangle. We should be running, but we're now pulling back. And I said the only thing that really bothers me about this trade going long is the fact that we have found resistance on this moving average and we're trading below it. So really, I shouldn't be going long until it's broken. That was what I was saying. But even if I do go long, I need to have a stop location. I did not do that. And there's so many things here that I'm just looking at. I mean, in hindsight, it's 2020. So that was my first concern, the fact that the moving average was above the price. And I remember saying that, here, and we're still here. And so at the open, I did not have a plan for us going past the moving average. For some weird reason, when I was watching the price, this bar come down, I was expecting the second one to race down. But then I saw we hadn't broken this low, and this bar appeared, so I went long. All right, so that was the first trade, I think. Yep, 937, I went long. And really, that was a problem. This is not a good signal bar. There's no trigger to go long on that bar, but I still took it anyway. So in terms of analysis, in terms of execution, there was no execution. This is, even if I said I was going long here, I mean, there's no pattern to go long, first of all, but because you're on a bull trend, and this was a break, so this was a short, but there was no pattern to go long, and this is where your stop's supposed to be, or at least here. And I didn't take that, I just went long. That was the first thing. I entered long, but didn't really have a stop. I entered more when we pushed down. I think it was the third bar going down, 939. So this was this bar, just this bar, just here. And then I bought another contract. The second thing I did wrong, which was not right. Then the third thing was 943. I bought another contract. Did I change calls? No, I had 3 contracts at this point. So I bought another contract, 943. Yeah, so the bar was around here somewhere. This was turning green. Oh, where is it? Yeah, it was this bar, or was it this bar? One of them was turning green. I thought, okay, we're having a 3 push down, so I thought it was 1, 2, 3, and that was a problem. I'm doing wedges on the 2-minute chart. Should not be doing that. Wedges should only be on the 15-minute, really. So I was doing it on, and I should really put a 15-minute chart up. Right, things now look so much clearer. Yeah, wedges should be on the 15, sometimes on the 5, but better on the 15. So I bought 3. And I just left them there. I was expecting price to go even higher, and then I just saw more red bars. I thought, oh gosh, I'm in trouble. And so I exited at this point. I think, yeah, exited all three at 9:42. 9:42 here. Once this bar came down, I exited all three. And then I was upset at myself, and I thought, what if this is a double bottom? I was looking at this chart. I'm actually considering not looking at this chart anymore, but I always want an earlier entry. But anyway, looking at this chart, then I saw we had a micro double bottom, 1, 2, 3. So I thought maybe we're going up, which we did. But look, we sold off on the moving average, kept on selling off on the moving average. And I kept saying to myself, oh my gosh, we're in a bear trend. We're selling off on the moving average. Maybe I'm going in too early. I'm going to wait. At the same time, I then got into CrowdStrike, and I'll talk about that. And I bought 2 contracts, another mistake. I bought 2 very heavy contracts with a very stupid stop, with no stop. So when the price started to retrace, I got out because I'd already hit my I was already down a lot, and as you can see, 195. But I will explain that in a second. Then I got into Tesla again. I changed the call. Actually, I used the same calls. I got into Tesla again. I said, oh, maybe I exited too prematurely. I should have held. So I got in again at 9:45. And now notice how none of these bars are closing green. 9:45. Yeah, none of them are closing green, because I saw this wedge forming, and a double bottom. I kept on adding and adding and adding, and I think at this point I was exhausted. Oh, I bought 4 by mistake. I said, oops, I bought 4, and this was another thing. I should have just exited, but I was like, oops, 4, okay, maybe more money. But I wasn't thinking, I wasn't focused. Price got here, and I thought we were going up. Then I noticed that we sold off the moving average again, off the view app. That was not a good sign. Sold off, got here, we're now chopping around. And I think when you start seeing the bad follow through, and you're trying to reverse and you can't reverse, and the bears are making sure you can't break the moving average, we were keeping to this trend line. I think at this point I should have just decided to exit. At least it would have just taken a small loss. It wouldn't have been too bad. And then I exited all 4. Yeah, at 9:49. I think I said if we crossed, where was it now? 9:49. Oh yeah, once this bar crossed the double bottom, I took my exit. I was like, okay, fine, I'm done, don't really care. Then I saw we rallied up, so I thought, okay, maybe we might have 2 legs down, 1, 2. I'm expecting a 3rd leg. So I now bought again, and I bought 2 really heavy contracts this time. I was buying cheaper ones, I bought heavier ones. And that's where things just started going bad. I kept on buying and adding and adding and adding as we were going down. And then when we got to 10:25, that's when I exited. And then look, to 5 minutes later, this is what happened. Which is fine. I mean, I think my average price was around here, so maybe I could have reduced the loss. But I should not be trading like that. Should not be. And it's funny because they always say that weak bulls would do what I'm doing, and then we always exit at the last minute when price is reversing. It's always weird that when that happens, when you have this huge bar. I remember saying that once it broke here, I'm getting out. It didn't put a hard stop, got out. I had a $1,600 loss. Should never ever let that happen. Never ever let that happen. So what was wrong with the analysis? I mean, first of all, the trade was wrong. I should have put a hard stop. I should have said at the beginning, where's my stop going to be? And I didn't put one in because this was a bear trend from the open. You can even see the wedge here if you count that. And this was a misprint, so I should have ignored that. But as you can see, this was a wedge, and as you can see, it's a channel. So it was a bear trend from the open. Really could have taken this short. 20, yeah, it would have been a good short. Maybe not 1-to-1, but at least we could have at least made some money, whatever it was, and traded for the rest of the day. That was the first thing. So bear trend from the open. And also, if you want to do it this way, I'm going to clear the entire chart. It was a big gap down. This is the 15 minutes. Let's go to the 5 minute. So big gap down, and I need to spend time working on this. So big gap down, did not even attempt to hit the moving average, just sold off, pulled back, sold off again, always in short. Two big bear bars, already the size of this range, so we're always in short. At this point you could go short with your stop here, and it's a big gap down. So basically this is a big trend bar, and the trend bar is carrying on. So this is a spike and channel. Did not read it as such, did not see that. Now I see it, spike, channel, bear trend, 3 pushes down, so 1, 2, or even 2, and then 3. Did not see that, did not read it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to classify the different gap openings that you can get, because I am not very good at trading gaps. But this is a big gap down, so it's like a spike and channel, bear trend, and definitely below the moving average, so it's definitely a spike and channel. So all you can do is definitely shorts. You have a double bottom, and then look at this breakout, one leg up, going up for tomorrow. Yeah, trading range as well. So yeah, really poor. CrowdStrike, and this is how you know you are not trading well. At least if you messed up Tesla, you could have messed up CrowdStrike. So CrowdStrike, the idea was this. It was pretty simple. I thought we had a wedge forming here. So we had a wedge. I saw a double bottom here, so I was ready to go long. Then I noticed that we broke through the bottom. The wedge did not break up. It broke down through this bottom. You had this, so you can even take this and this. This is always in short. So I sold this bar. I bought those 2 puts, and we retraced, pulled back up, and this is where I got out. And I remember saying to myself at the time, and I was like, really, dude, this is always in short. This is just a pause. At least, yeah, it's just a pause. And then first pullback, second pullback, third pullback, 3 pushes down. If anything, this is a bear trend. We're below the moving average, and as you can see, yeah, just holds. But I was already in, not feeling so good, and of course this happened. But I wasn't disappointed. I just got out, and I was like, I'm not feeling well. I should not be draining. I'm not in the right state of mind. Anyway, I say this to say that when you're taking trades, you really ought to be in the right state of mind. You can't take that for granted. I mean, there's so many reasons why this was short. I mean, you're way below the moving average. And I thought, okay, we're below the moving average, we should retrace, but no, it was a strong breakout. So yeah, I should have just waited. So what could I have done? One, even if I had taken this short, use the appropriate stop, because I was in the right direction. Use the appropriate stop. I didn't use the right stop. And then secondly, yeah, use the appropriate stop. Yeah, I may not have made that much money in that one, but at least, because if this was my stop here, want $15, yeah, it's not going to be much at all. At least you're going to make something, right? Yeah, you could have made. You wouldn't have lost money. So in that regard, it was not a good trade. I did want to trade Nvidia, and the idea with Nvidia was, I mentioned some time ago. I'm just gonna mark it. Oh man, look at the way it traded today. I turned off my terminal after I stopped trading because we're in a trading range. I saw the way we were pushing up. I said if we make a double top, we should head down and test the lows. And that's what exactly happened. We sold off strongly, tested lows. We had a big gap up as well. Big gap up. And then one big massive bear bar, another one but pulled back, and then always in shorts at this point. You're definitely at the highs, so you're definitely in short. And look, we tested this moving average, came back, tested it, broke it. So this was a really, really good. This could have been good. So one pullback. This isn't a pullback, is it? No, it's a pause. No, 1, 2, and this is the last leg, 3. So yeah, this is what I would have loved to have traded. I mean, hindsight's 2020, of course, but this was not difficult to trade. 1, 2, and 3, double top down. Yeah, this was not a difficult one. I was just exhausted today, and as a result of my exhaustion, took bad trades. Um, I think in future, what I will do, I'm not going to take for granted my physical being before I take a trade or before I go trade, because I think, and today was such a good day with such a beautiful range. Yeah, I think I have learned a lesson, which is obviously check your emotional temperature, check your physical temperature, and all that. Um, what I am going to do though is I want to stick to one or two tickers only. Oh man, look at this. I mean, it's again, it's not like we didn't know this was going to be a good short, you know, but yeah, this would have been beautiful. This would have been so beautiful. Um, yeah, this would have been so beautiful. I would have loved to have shorted it here at the open and probably used a wide stop, maybe all the way up here. I need to start, yeah, use the wide stop all the way here. I need to start, but I think that's too early actually. I think maybe what's best to do is just take these two bear bars, maybe short here. This is a better short. I actually think I will consider this bar in pre-market and this as opposed to just these ones. Um, in my back testing, I've noticed that these pre-market bars are as valid and important as these. So maybe just taking it short here and putting your stop up here, 1.5, and yeah, you can get one. Oh, that is such a beautiful risk because you got three here. Oh man, this would have been beautiful today. Anyway, what was I gonna say? Yeah, so what I'm gonna try and do is definitely one, try and stay healthy, and two, try and make sure that I am not feeling too physically tired again. Um, yeah, I think it's just. I think even right now I still feel tired. I don't feel like I can. I feel like working or anything like that. I still feel very tired. Um, but that's what trading is. It's you really need to be ready, like you're running for a marathon or a sprint or a big race. You can't just um, you can't just run and go as you please. You need to be ready. You need to be physically ready. And today I wasn't, and it cost me a lot of money. I should not allow that happen again. So, what does this mean? Tomorrow we'll see. I mean, I'm going to look at this. I love trading ranges because I know where supports and resistances are. I need to understand how to trade trends like that. I think you should be able to do the same because at the end of the day, the way you trade a trading range, buying at support and selling at resistance, is the same thing you do in a trend. You do the same exact same thing. This is the resistance, so the prices come here, and you could sell here because this is where your stop is if you decide to sell here. Um, yeah. So, all right. So, without sounding like a broken record, I think. Oh wow, look at that! Without sounding like a broken record, I'm glad I've learned some of these lessons, and I'm going to try and implement them um, in the next coming days. All right. Actually, I think I did draw this, and now I'm looking at it, and I feel a bit stupid for not really doing some analysis. Anyway, so what I have done is I have created a spreadsheet on my Mac. I can't because I'm recording on the PC. It's hard to see, and I'm gonna write down my plan properly and execute that plan. Um, so I don't have an excuse. I mean, today was poor, but I don't I don't have I don't have a reason not to do well on this. I don't have a reason not to do well today. Um, Today wasn't because I didn't could read the market well. Okay, fair enough. This was a bit confusing at first, but there are some hints here. You're gapping down, uh, a spike below the moving average, and you have a big bear bar closing on its low. This is a trend short. You're not closing this gap, and also you've tested this moving average and now heading down. So yeah, that already, you're expecting a double bottom here, could not get past this moving average. We're always in short. All right, that's my trading day. Hopefully we'll do better tomorrow.